Perfect.
Welcome back to another brand new tier list video of Monkey Beast 2. Today we are starting with Marvel Phase 2 tier list. Marvel Phase 2, back with Phase 2. We back at it again. Yes, we're back at it again. Yeah, we're in big deal. Yes, our list is looking nice and firm. It's looking nice and crispy. I currently do not have nothing I want to change, and I agree with all my decisions so far. And yeah, I feel like everything I've said about said movies have been correct and have been to a level that I am confident in. So I feel like, on no further on that, let's get right into it. So phase two, basically that little point after Avengers where everything kind of picks off, and now everybody's having their own solo adventures, and doing their own thing, while, you know, they're later on being in another Avengers movie coming up in the end, but they're still being the solo adventure in the end. So yeah, first off, we're gonna start with Iron Man 3. Came out May 3rd of 2013. You know, basically it's a standalone good movie, but before I talk about the movie, rate it. So one thing I just want to I want to give off on the start of rating Iron Man 3 is that, look, I understand people might have liked, you know, something better, but I feel like I put a C tier. Iron Man 3 was an okay movie. It holded up some structure of what Iron Man's supposed to be on that. It explored more on the different spectrum on how Tony could literally be without the suit and how we could interact with different environments with him without being the suit, and like he has to like only rely on one, and like he just can't like upgrade like that. Like that isn't like just how it is, and he has to, you know, still use his human side of things to survive and to, you know, become out as the hero in the end. And it's very smart just to put to perspective how smart Tony actually is and how like well thought through of a character he's supposed to be. Like he's supposed to be smart, and like he's an a-hole a little bit sometimes, and you know he has to do what he got to do to win, but he is smart about it and he doesn't confuse anything. He gets measured to the point and he does what he does. But I feel like played in this movie, it was more, we got more of Tony than we got Iron Man, and I understand, you know, it is an Iron Man movie, but I feel like, you know, I enjoy the Tony arc on that. And I feel like, you know, there wasn't I mean, I wouldn't say there was a more lessly of the main villain. You could say the villain, supposedly, with quotation marks. I didn't really know who I mean, you could say he was technically the villain, yeah, you know, he was portrayed as that, but like, you know, at first it was one guy and then it was this, because I mean, yeah, the guy kept him as a hostage there, in the last, you know, keeps him as a fake villain, and then it kind of plays through after that. And I honestly understand. Yes, I love what they were trying to do here. They were trying to basically make it new, and they were trying to something out differently in the Iron Man storyline, with this like huge sheep people, and how this guy, you know, he basically just hated Tony because, you know, he just beating him the opportunity, just brushed him off, and he got angry at that and everything like that in his business. Yeah, I understand he has motives against him. You know, there was like American Patriot supposedly, then he got rolled out of his suit, and then, you know, there was a whole thing about that, and then like, you know, Tony had to he had to do what he had to do to come out on the top, and he did it successfully. But I feel like there was some shortcomings on a little bit of the sides. Like mainly, I think for me, is just the villain portrayal, and that whole, like, I mean, yeah, the whole suit blowing up thing, you know, he has to blow up that suit, I mean, everything like that, and then like, you know, his whole home was being destroyed and everything like that. Yeah, I think it fell off just for me a bit loosely, and it didn't, you know, it didn't stick the landly firmly, and it kind of like slipped on. It was a little slippy on sometimes during the movie, but it was alright. It portrayed a great story, and I would say it somewhat kept itself up for what it was. So yeah, that's Iron Man 3 C tier. Nothing's bad. It didn't hold up to where the rest were, and I just feel like it could have done that more. But that's just on that. Next, Thor: Dark World. Came out in November 8th of 2013. You know, Chris Hemsworth, he do what he do, but I feel like this is probably one of this is either a hit or miss. For me, it was a complete miss. I completely missed on this on so many scales. This is different. It was extremely different. We got more of Asgard. We got more of, you know, the elves and everything like that, and then the reality stone supposedly, or like this weird sludge, if you could say. I guess it does turn into a stone. But I feel like, you know, and they also, you know, said that to kill Loki, like, bro, and then just comes back like, okay, what? That was weird. No, I mean, obviously, you know, there was a whole plan thing about that, and he was faking it, but I mean, why do that then? And there was a whole process. I mean, yeah, obviously, it's just to deceive people, but I just feel like that was kind of unnecessary at sometimes, but it's whatever on me on that. I didn't really join as the rest of the Marvel projects for just I mean, the villain was okay. It wasn't the best, tell you that. The villain was okay, it wasn't the best. Jane, I didn't mess with Jane. Jane was a little picky off some ends and kind of little what I did not expect on certain ends, and I was like, okay, I didn't expect her to do that, but she did it either way. I could see, you know, me introducing new characters, everything played out. You know, Thor just being Thor and how he is. I mean, he should be a little bit more serious in this one, but like, I mean, yeah, I mean, even Thor is kind of, he could be serious, but he's kind of a loony character just because how he is, you know, he's Thor, you know, he's goofy, he's super goofy, and he's, you know, that's just how his character is. He's kind of built as, he's a kind of a goofy character on certain ends, but that's just what I think on that. Yeah, I would say there's some parts of the movie where it kind of falls off for me. I did enjoy some parts, and I'm like, okay, so what? And I had to skip through some parts, but that's just my enjoyment. I did not enjoy to that level of scale, and I just, you know, I would say this might be a skip if you want to watch versus projects, but if you want to watch this one, it's fine. I just feel like me personally did not enjoy some parts of the movie. Fell off for me. And I just feel like they could have done better at it, but I just, you know, it was just a complete miss for me on that certain end. Yeah. So next we got Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It came out in April 4, 2014. Iron Man: The Third Dark World came out a couple months between. So they were already working behind project scene on that. Versus Captain America: The Winter Soldier was nearly a complete year from Iron Man 3, nearly a complete year. Yeah. So, you know, what I'm gonna have to give Captain America: Winter Soldier is, you know, I'm not, like I said, no base options, because, you know, I am, you know, a Cap fan, and, you know, that says that something about that, but I would just say, I'm just gonna say this is a movie as a whole, because I don't want to give no base comments, be like, oh, you know, he's base, obviously he's gonna root this better than this because blah blah blah, or like this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, look, let me define myself at a certain point, and then you could type the comments and then say this, what I said about that. You know, but more or less, yeah. Respectfully, I have to say that Captain America: Winter Soldier is honestly, I would put it, it's near S tier, but it's extremely this extremely high A tier. It's amazing spy movie. It does really good at it, putting Cap, you know, in the ringer, putting Cap in the shadow, and him just going crazy. Him doing what he has to do, and him having to choose, you know, if the government was complete right or it was just Hydra. You know, I completely agree with it. Great movie. They also introduced Winter Soldier on that. Really nice. Key points. The Atom is very important later on to the Marvel franchise. Black Widow's in there, nice. Nick Fury's in there, nice. You know, it really ties in that spy movie aspect really good. Ties in really good. You know, and shows how Cap is such a great character, and he loves his friends so much to a level where it's like complete love and joy, because, you know, he misses them, and, you know, wants to have him back, and, you know, he would do so much for him, but he's just been mind controlled and he can't really do anything. So nonetheless, it's a nice story to see, and a great tale they showed of a spy movie if they could do it in a Marvel feature. Really nice. The movie kept up really good. pacing was nice. Everything, story really stood together. It showed major aspects of the story I liked, and yeah, it kept me intrigued, and it was very nice. A very new blend of movie, how to do it. It was a spy movie, and yeah, it was really nice. It really showed up there. That's why it's extremely high A tier. If I could put it low S tier, but like that's already too high. I feel like that's extremely way too high. Like I would say, because the Captain Winter Soldier is at least top 5 Marvel movies. Like at least I want to say top 3 because there's like a bargain, but that's just on my perspective and my point of view on that. Okay, well next we got Guardians of the Galaxy, which came out August 1st of 2014. Yes, came out a couple months after Captain Winter Soldier. You already kind of have this planned, and you were just putting this in the back burner, just letting it, cook for a while, and then they finally released that. It's when they did that, it was different because they were like Guardians of the Galaxy. Whoa, okay, wow, it's something new, because especially because Marvel was just doing everything from Earth, and this is truly brand new because this is they're from space, and they're Guardians of the Galaxy, they're from the galaxy, I suppose, but it just extremely new concept, and it is new, and I love that they brought that in, and it was such a great way to put it in, since it showed just a new landscape of things, and the way they intrigued these new viewers to be for Guardians of the Galaxy on that. But yeah, nonetheless, yes, Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is another A tier. It's A tier. It's an amazing story. I actually really enjoyed it. It kept up well. It still aged pretty good for what it was. It was amazing storytelling they did. They betrayed, for them being a Guardians of the Galaxy, and they all had to come together in a certain way. It was amazing. I love every character. Some more than others, but as it is. Groot was amazing. Drax was amazing. Basically everybody was amazing. They showed great interest, and I really enjoyed it because of the wackiness of everybody. But it was very cool to see, and very nice to see something very different, and I enjoyed it for that. Props up to James Gunn, director, really good director for what he could do and for what he can really try. It's really good for that. Yeah, A tier, kept up really good, enjoyed it, great aspects. Soundtrack is probably, I'm not even gonna lie to you, probably the best soundtrack out of Marvel. I think Guardians of the Galaxy or Guardians Volume 2 is probably the best soundtrack of all Marvel. It's amazing. Soundtrack's beautiful, it's goated, it's beyond goated. But yeah, nonetheless, it is up there with the others, and it's really good. It does a really good standalone project on that. Yeah, so next we got Avengers Age of Ultron, which came out May 1st of 2015. Yeah, brand spanking new Avengers, brand spanking new, like just straight out of a hot pocket and everything, like brand spanking new. Like this is like no one kind of really expected it. I mean, if you caught up, but like no one expected it to be, oh wow, no Avengers. I didn't expect that, but it's what it is with that. But have to rate it B tier. I felt like for this movie, it was it was a movie. I would say it was a little sluggish on some parts. I did enjoy some parts, some did serve well, like that Hulk and the Hulkbuster scene was really good. It showed a lot. That was one of the major scenes that was really important. I enjoyed, and I think it was sluggish because they were just adding too many characters, like too much characters, and I was like, okay, dude, like I understand now. Like I understand, like a lot of characters, like Wanda, and then there was it Pedro, can't say because obviously because of Quicksilver, but we don't say nothing. Yeah, they basically got in there and then killed one off, and then they also brought Vision in, which is I don't know, but that was really cool. They brought him in. Yeah, he is an Avenger after that, and yeah, I enjoyed his characters. The characters, everything was portrayed. Hulk was really good. Most of the character was really good. They all showed improvement from all the standards, and it was just another Avengers movie. But I feel like it came a little short down. And I felt like it wasn't to what his predecessor was, but it's fine. Still did what it did. It's still a good movie. It kept up at some points of the story was extremely sluggish, and I was like, okay, dude, okay, like just like whatever on certain points. But yeah, I think on that, you know, it was just very sluggish on certain points, and I just want to get that through because you know it is an Avengers movie after all. Next we got Ant-Man. You know, came out of July 17, 2015. I'm just first off rated. I'm gonna get a C tier.
Are you serious right now, bro?
I mean, it's Ant-Man. You know, first of all, it's just Ant-Man. You know, he is what he does. He's, you know, he's very comical. He's very cool. But I feel like certain points they could have took it out of the movie, and there's certain points where I'm like, okay, like whatever. I would say it's a little sluggish on certain ends, but not also on all the way through. There are just points where I didn't agree with it. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And then, you know, that whole the Beedrill guy, you know, Bevan, but you know, he been being there as that, and then he got small and everything like that. You know, I see that in the whole Oranges and Ant-Man, he was Robert, all this and that, and you know, it was great to see the basic start of Ant-Man and his origin. I just feel like I don't know why they kind of put him off on the end of Age of Ultron, but it's really whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I feel like they could have put this right before Age of Ultron. It would have been fine. Age of Ultron would have been nice to end it off, but whatever on that. Yeah. I just felt like just because it was after Age of Ultron, and also it was just after an Avengers movie, and then also just like it's just an origin story out of nowhere, like bro, but like whatever. Yeah, I just feel like that it just I didn't enjoy it to a level of scale, and it was a bit sluggish on certain ends, and there were just some points where it was like whatever, or kind of little like bruh moments, but it was all right. You know, it kept itself up on certain points, and it did portray Ant-Man well on what it was trying to do. So yeah, that is phase 2 of tier list. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, subscribing, and thanks for liking the video. Hit the noties, hit the comments, hit the noties, share with all your friends, and leave it a like. Thank you for doing all that. Yeah, thanks for watching phase 2 of the tier list. Next one, next week, next Wednesday, we're gonna get phase 3, but I'm doing it like this. Yes, so we're gonna do something brand new. Every Sunday is reaction for now. Thanks for if you're at the end of the video, this is down for the permanent watchers who actually care about the daily up schedule. Every Sunday reaction, and then every Wednesday is something new, or a series that we continue to keep going on that. And my hear you say, ladies and gents, I'm gonna further announce at the end of the video, just for staying, but I will be uploading 3 times a week now. 3 times a week. But this is weird though. The third upload is gonna be random. It could be the reaction, video game gameplay, a commentary, whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's random. It could be from any of the days besides. It could be any of the days. Any of the days. That is a Wednesday and Sunday. It could be any of the other days. Just keep out, hit the noties. You'll see for the third video. But yeah, stay further tuned. Thanks for watching. Hit the noties. I'll leave you all that. And thank you. Watch the video. You like. You know your friends. Bye. Bye.
Whopper, junior, double, triple.
Perfect.